Why, hello! Welcome to the show. It is, oops, wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. That's what I meant to do. It is Sunday, July 12th, 2020? Yeah. How's it going, Zach?
It's fine.
Oh, okay. For a moment there, I was concerned. I was like, wait, do we not have Zach? But we do. We're all good. Everything's good. It's fine. We're all fine. Hey, it is 5:33. We are like basically on time. That almost never happened. So.
I suppose not, no.
Anyway, what's new with you?
Nothing.
Wow, you're boring. You're boring.
Yeah, I know.
How's work going?
Work. No one likes but work. Work.
Hey, you know what? Okay, if I was doing my own thing with Tech V Media, like full time, like that would be totally awesome. I'd be cool with that. So, anyway. So, speaking of that, so I've been doing some research. So, we're running Ubiquiti equipment here in the house and at one of the locations that I manage. And so what do you know about the Ubiquiti system? Anything?
Not really anything.
You should do a little research into it. It's actually pretty. I mean, you're not a big networking guy, though, are you?
Not particularly, no.
No, you're more hardware, aren't you?
I don't know what I am, to be honest.
You're
going to be lumped into any category because I don't know.
You're a glorified chimp right now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, basically, you wait around until the phone rings and then you answer some basic tech question. Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Yeah, I guess. I'm getting paid more to do that than I was in my own money.
I love how you've got, like, a tech job, but, like, your tech job is, like, support. Tech support.
Oh, that's how people get started in IT, pretty much.
Okay, so let me.
A lot of people do at least. Whatever.
I'm sure. Let me ask you: are you? What is the end goal? Is this?
I don't know.
I mean, you're in a tech job, so I mean, there's that. But like,
Earn more money.
Oh well, no. Is this what you envisioned, or like? So would you rather be sitting in a cubicle answering tech questions all day, or would you rather be like actual hands-on, like actually like supporting systems and other things like that?
I don't know. I've never been any of those things, so I don't know which is my favorite of something that I've never done, you know?
Oh, see, I like the hands-on stuff. I like supporting the equipment and installing and doing that kind of stuff. That's fun. Sitting behind a counter or sitting in a cubicle answering, basic tech questions.
The phones are soul-sucking, I agree.
What did you say?
I said the phones are soul-sucking, I agree. That's why I try to minimize my exposure to them.
What does a general day for Zach look like? Like, give me an example of like the kinds of support tickets you're receiving.
I don't get emails.
You don't get emails?
No, that's the kind of tickets. Like, my email don't work.
Oh,
Laptop won't log in.
Okay. I see. So yeah.
Of course, there are some other things, but I mean, it's not all my responsibility, or even I don't even have the access to do some of these.
I was gonna say, do you have
an
like
account created for blah 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 whatever?
Oh, do you like remote into any systems and like do that kind of stuff or not?
All the time. I never want to go to anybody's desk.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that's what the kind of stuff you're doing. So you're basically like at my entity, when I have an issue that I can't solve because, and let's be clear, here's the thing. When I have to call tech support for my entity, it's not because I don't know what I'm doing, at least 90% of the time. It's not because I don't know what it's doing, it's because I don't have what, Zach?
Any access, probably.
Right! It's because I don't have the rights to be able to access what I know I can fix. But anyway. Oh, so interesting thing. So yesterday, we had a massive, well, it wasn't a massive storm, but we had a fairly decent sized storm come through. It was quick. It was like, we got hit for like 10 minutes, but it was one of those storms where like you get hit for 10 minutes and like everything just breaks.
Yeah, there was some storms taking out phone systems at my job.
So, are you guys all on VoIP stuff? I'm guessing.
I don't know what they have. I have no idea what they have.
Well, you should be able to tell based off your phone. If it's got an Ethernet cable going to it, then yeah, you're definitely on a VoIP system.
Well, yes, it's all VoIP, but like, you know, each site, I don't know what each site has.
No I would imagine it's probably all VoIP then. If they've got VoIP in some places, it would make sense to have VoIP everywhere, just because of the capabilities behind it.
They're definitely VoIP. I'm talking about in terms of like, you know, providers, equipment. I have no idea. Oh
yeah. I have no idea either. I think our entity uses something like 8x8 system, like 8x8. I think is what it is. So something interesting to look into. Anyway, so back to the Ubiquity stuff real quick. So, as Tech Media looks to expand, we will primarily probably be deploying Ubiquity systems just because they are so simple. And really easy to manage. They're like they're not like commercial. They can be used in commercial applications, but they're like not necessarily designed for commercial. They're like prosumer. But even with that, they are deployed in a lot of commercial entities. Anyway, so here's the thing. The more of these systems we deploy, what is the issue that we run into, Zach? Any guesses?
Tell me.
So we run into the issue of figuring out how are we going to manage all this stuff?
Right.
Because we can deploy a bunch of systems, right? But do we want to manage all those on site?
Oh.
Right. Right. So we have the ability, I mean, and there are some things that you do have to do on site. Let's say an access point just dies. Like, yeah, you're going to have to go out to the site and like replace it. But Ubiquity stuff, I guess, apparently has a really good success rate in terms, or like reliability rate, I guess. So they're not something that you have a lot of problems with them dying. So anyway, but here's what you do. So the way the Ubiquity system works, much like I think some of the other systems like Aruba from, I don't know if Cisco owns that. No, Cisco was like Meraki or something like that. Or Meraki? I don't know.
Yes, we have that.
Yeah. And you don't have to manage any of that stuff, do you? That's all somebody else.
It can manage company phones, and I have to do that.
Okay. But like I'm talking like the overall deployment of it. You're not managing. That's somebody else's job.
If I was doing that, I would be marching up to HR and demanding a bigger paycheck.
I would be too. So, but that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. So anyway, there are a ton of these systems out there, and I'm sure that when you have to manage something like that, what are you probably doing? How are you managing it?
Remotely.
Right, remotely through what?
I mean, through what?
Through a web console, right? Or a web portal. Yeah, exactly. So this is how these systems are built, is you deploy them and then you manage everything through a web portal. So one of the cool things about the Ubiquity stuff is that I can launch and I'm playing with this right now, but I can launch a cloud-based controller, basically, and then import multiple sites into that controller and manage them from one central location. So that is what I'm playing with right now. So I just signed up for I'm not going to say where for security purposes, but I just signed up and started up like a virtual machine on one of those platforms, like Azure, AWS. So anyway, yeah. And I've got like a trial period right now, so I want to check this out and see how it works. And that may be a really good way to go if I'm deploying more of these systems, because then I can centrally manage everything from one controller. And the cool thing is that rather than having to update a bunch of controllers off-site, I can just update one controller and be good. So, yeah. But that's the fun, interesting stuff that's happening kind of behind the scenes here at TechMade Media. What else? Oh, yeah. Been running a bunch of cables. I got this really cool thing called the Magnapolar. So it is you've got this magnetic piece on one end. Actually, both pieces are magnetic, but you've got this magnetic piece on one end, and that attaches to whatever wire that you want to try to fish through a wall. And then you drill a hole, you drop this thing down the wall with your cable attached to it, and then the other part of it is this giant roller thing with a magnet in it, and then you roll that down the wall. And the theory is that, of course, the two magnets attract to each other, and then the cable just, down the wall. So, anyway.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I'm looking for an IT job, like an actual IT job, that's probably what I'm looking to do. Because that sounds way more fun than sitting behind a phone all day and answering support questions.
Yes.
But that's why I asked you, like, would you rather be doing something like that, or would you rather be doing what you're doing now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes, well, obviously, I mean, nobody wants to be the idiot answering the phones forever. But I mean, I don't know. At this point, I'm just happy to have a job after losing my last one.
That is a good point.
And so many other people are getting laid off. And
hey, this kind of worked out in your favor, though. You got a raise.
It totally did.
Are you doing?
Really?
Are you doing less at this job than you were doing at your other job, or about the same?
Definitely doing less work than I was before. Definitely.
And you got a higher paycheck.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
So, yeah. How many locations does your entity?
I mean, of course I will. If positions open up within the department that I am qualified for or can work to be qualified for, of course I will try to reach those positions.
What?
That's how you get promoted.
Right. What would be your fear, or like the maybe not fear, but like and I know I probably know what you're gonna say, but what is the thing that you're like, if you were in that position where you're like supporting like actual devices and things like that, and managing those things, what is the one thing that you're like, nope, I don't want to touch it, do not want to do it?
Printers are the worst.
I knew you were gonna say printers. What if printers was crossed off your list, what would be the next thing?
Well, let's see. I mean, let's see.
Like that's what I'm wondering. Like, what task could you be asked that you're like, oh crap? Whether it's because you really don't want to touch it, or it's because your skill sets are not where you think they are.
You mean my skill sets are not where they think they are?
No, like, well, no.
Because when someone asks me to do something who thinks I know how to do it, and I'm just thinking, no, I don't.
Yes, that scenario right there.
I don't know. I mean, printers are just, the number one.
Everyone hates
No,
printers.
no.
Everyone hates printers. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that because everyone hates printers. Okay, not everyone, but like we hate printers. They're just annoying.
Oh, you know what? This is kind of specific, but all right, I'll go with it. I have had to do this at both of my, my current job and my last job. Installing software for banks. Installing software for banks? Like, just what is it about bank software? It's just the worst software.
All the security.
Well, maybe, but I mean, okay. The first time I ever had to install bank software for somebody, it was just like, okay, the bank person is on the phone, and I'm just here to type in my password every time they. Okay, no problem, I can do that. But that, I've had to also do bank software for some other people, and it's like, well, first of all, you have to figure out where on their stupid website it is. I mean, heaven forbid you just be able to Google it and download it. No. You have to log in with an account, and you have to look around through all these pages, and sometimes I can never even find it. I mean, at one point, I had to deal with somebody to do this, and I mean, eventually I gave up, and I was like, I need to know where this software is. It's your responsibility. I basically just dumped it on them. Like, find me the software and I'll install it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't know where it was. I looked in every page in that stupid website. I don't know. But one of my favorite, something that I thought was really funny is that I think it was like U.S. Bank had a software for a check scanner that, oh my gosh, it looked like a throwback to. It was like,
okay.
It was a command line install, right? It was fine, no problem. But I mean, it just seems so low caliber, like how many dollars is this company worth? And they can't even put a GUI in their software? Like, I double taked, when I seen this, I was like, is this the right software?
McDonald's is like that.
I am on usbank.com. Yes, this is the right software. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah, McDonald's is like that to the back end system. At least when I worked there, the back end system was like this. They called it the ISP, the in-store processor, and I think it was virtualized too, because it ran on like a VNC window or something like that. But anyway, it was all like text-based. And yes, you had
but that's different because that's not a customer-facing thing, That's something just only the employees use.
Well, it was only managers, but anyway.
U.S. Bank, whatever software for the check scanner was legit something that a customer of the bank will download and use. And the software had a GUI, but the installer, I swear that looked like it was, got off some sketchy download site and, I don't know.
Well, I showed you the picture of, I can't actually show this picture because it'll give it away, but I showed you the picture of the back end or like the back office-ish software that we're using at my entity.
Probably did. I forgot what it looked like. I'm sure it's a nightmare. I've seen it before. Seen other such nightmares. Oh yeah, all the nurses at my job, they use this stupid software that is, I don't know, it's like some kind of software for
this right
managing. Here. It's literally like what is it? What is the right word? It's literally like a nursing home software. Some company makes this software just for nursing homes. I don't get it. But it is.
Is it for like charting?
Yeah, that's a word they use. I don't know what it means. They say,
yeah. Well, no, it's like,
and I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
it's like when you go to, no, it's like when you go to the doctor, okay?
Yeah.
They keep a chart and it's got all of your information in it. It's like a log.
I don't care. I'm just here to give it. I don't care.
Anyway, no, this is what I was talking about. It's in
so much software like that is that is extremely specialized and often very old just has the most horrible like user interface.
No, this is literally. I dropped a picture of it for you. That is the shall we say back office.
Oh yeah, it's like straight out of Windows XP. Like the icons are literally from Windows XP.
This software is actually that software is no longer like made any, or at least that version of it I don't think is made anymore, and maybe even the whole software itself. But so it's it actually I believe runs on a back end version of SQL, like MySQL. I think that's what it runs on. Because it's weird, but it makes sense then. If that is loaded onto a back-end MySQL database, that our new web-based solution that we're using, for better or for worse, is able to share information back and forth between the old software and then our web-based, like the actual like software, and then our web-based system. But again, that would make sense if it's all just sitting in a database, because all I'm guessing is the software does is like queries the database and adds and updates records and all that stuff. So anyway, but yeah, let me see. Okay, so installing software, that's something you hate.
No, I'm talking about specifically the bank software is the worst.
Okay,
doesn't matter.
What
doesn't matter.
I'm talking something like this though.
Bank software is always the worst.
I'm talking something like this, and maybe this is more specialized, but your boss comes to you and says, hey, we need you to deploy a new access point and configure it.
I've never been asked to do that.
No, but like if you were, is that a task that you're like, crap? Or like, okay, let's go ahead.
Well, I would say I need to know how to do that.
Okay, they give you all the configurations. They say, here, good luck. Have fun.
Okay, well, that's unrealistic. That's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen because I know that they don't expect me to know that.
If you had to, though, could you?
There are so many details missing from that I have absolutely no answers for you.
Here's the access point. Add it to the network.
What kind of an access point is it? What kind of management software do they have?
I'm guessing
what
you're
is it
using
being connected to.
I'm guessing you're using Aruba stuff, right?
I don't know. It's not my responsibility. There are so many things at my new job that are just like, I don't know, not my problem. You know, like, great. Oh, you know what? I got to tell you about this. So, you know, COVID is a thing, right?
No, really?
Oh, I just heard about it the other day.
I heard it doesn't exist. No, I'm just kidding.
I heard it was caused by
serious.
But okay, but anyway.
Serious moment real quick here. No, not a joke. I don't care what you say. I don't think it's a joke. I'm pretty sure Zach would agree with me it's not a joke. It is something to be taken seriously. Just putting that out there.
Okay, so, well, you know who's not taking it seriously is whoever thinks that working at home bad. Working at home bad. People must come back to office.
Did I tell you that I think like Principal Group is like thinking about like making all the like not having office buildings anymore?
I wish I worked for them. Anyway, so you know they're gonna save us all from the COVID by they're putting some glass extensions on all the cubes so they're
that's
taller,
what you said.
right?
Yeah, they're taller.
Okay. Yeah, I talked about that. But now they have a Chinese robot called Tammy in the door who will take your temperature when you walk into work. And if you're over 100 degrees, the screen goes red, and he sends an email to the temperature police or whoever, I don't know, and probably the Chinese government as well. And then you get to have a chat with somebody, and except there's one problem, right? He's horribly inaccurate.
Oh, okay.
And as in he overestimates people's temperatures. So, I don't have any symptoms, right? But guess what? First day I used, stupid here, he, he says I'm like 101 degrees, and sends an email off to somebody, and I'm like, I don't believe that. And I grabbed a handheld thermometer that was sitting right next to, like one of those little infrared ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like 98.5 degrees. Okay.
And that's fine. That's what that's what the average temperature is.
But now, But now, apparently the stupid robots did the same thing to our boss of IT, and so now something's going to be done about it. That was great. I mean, one morning I so much as stepped into his view when I was using the normal handheld thermometer, and he at me like, you have a fever.
I wonder if it needs to be calibrated or something.
I have no idea. I just thought it was so funny, all of this just so people can come back to the office when nobody probably even wants to come back to the office. Like, gee. But the robot is gonna save us from the COVID. He's gonna alert and kick people out who have fevers. I guess that's gonna be a thing. I don't know. I just thought that was really funny. Great thing they're doing.
Wait. Hang on.
Also, insert jokes about the Chinese government probably, knowing everything that he sees.
Is this what you're talking about? I think.
Did you find it?
Is this it?
No. He's like 3/4 my height. He's pretty tall. I could probably Google it.
I'm really curious to see what this thing is.
It's just a little idiot on wheels with a screen on it, and I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what he is supposed to do.
Oops.
Really.
For this? Oop, maybe.
No. I'm finding it.
Okay. Well, Zach
on their website, they don't have any freaking. Okay, here we go. This is a picture of him. This is what idiot looks like.
Oh.
Yeah.
You said robot. I was actually thinking robot, like.
Well, no.
What?
Not all robots have legs and arms. This idiot just rolls around, I guess. And according to the website, he will follow you with a plate of cookies if you ask him.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, okay, cool, I guess. Whatever. That's a thing. So
weird. Yeah, now he's still sitting in the doorway, I bet. So, these days, as long as they haven't gotten rid of him this weekend, but I mean, I always duck out of his way now. I don't scan my temperature anymore.
So anyway, let's maybe get to some tech topics this week. Now that we've gotten all the updates out of the way. Here we go. Okay, Zach, software as a service for cars.
That's stupid.
Apple is warning about something.
You need to pay your monthly car subscription.
Kind of. We'll talk about that in a second. Apple is sending out a caution to users who use camera covers on their laptops. We got some Microsoft news in here. Something about Wells Fargo and TikTok, I guess, and this is interesting.
I know where that's going.
Remember last week how we talked about iPhones maybe not having chargers in the box? Looks like Samsung might be following suit.
Hey, we've got the classic Android manufacturer maneuver. Apple's doing something, we have to do it too.
Right. So, with that, I'm going to roll the intro real quick, even though, yeah, well, here we go. So, let's get right into this here. Software as a service kind of ish. The 2021 Mazda 3 Turbo gets all-wheel drive, 227 horsepower, but no Mazda speed. Wait, what? Did I click on the wrong thing? I maybe clicked on the wrong link. Let's see here. Oh, not that. Let's see. I know where the link to it is. I just need to go find it real quick here. Let's see. Oh goodness, where did it go? Mexico approved a law against the right to repair, apparently.
Oh, lovely.
I know.
Don't be like them. Someday, I know it.
Oh, here it is. Not quite exactly sure what happened when I was copying the link over, but here we go. Cool. Gonna move that around real quick here. Yeah, your next BMW might only have heated seats for 3 months, Zach.
Oh, yes, of course. I must pay the subscription for my heated seats in my car. Oh, okay.
German luxury cars are renowned for the breadth of their option sheets. On one hand, this means you can get your next BMW 5 Series configured exactly how you want it. Now, on the other hand, it means you'll often wind up paying for extras for seemingly basic things like, say, a spare tire. Look, there's pros and cons to both of this.
Pay extra for a spare tire?
Well, okay, I think here's the thing. There's like this weird level where it's like, the more expensive something is...
nice car, right? Like, how come it doesn't include such a basic thing as a spare tire?
Because if you've got that much money to buy that thing, you've got enough money to buy extras. It's like...
Of course. It's just like when I always make the joke about the Google Pixel. If you can afford the more expensive Pixel, then you can afford some Bluetooth headphones and you don't need a headphone jack, right? Of course.
Exactly.
And if you want one, well, sucks.
So anyways, BMW is now raising the ante by making...
I wonder when you'll have to pay a subscription to use your headphone jack. Oh my god.
Don't say that too loud. Somebody will take that idea and run with it.
Some Samsung executive is like, write that down quick.
So BMW is now raising the ante by making many of the car options that you have into software service enabled whenever you want them.
That is just ridiculous. Like, what? What a money
and the disconcerting
idea.
part about this is that they can disable them as well. Turn them on, disable them.
Even having, yeah, you're right. Even them having the capability to do that is dumb. But additionally, the fact that that hardware will exist permanently in your vehicle, always, but if you haven't, paid your monthly tax to, whichever company made your car, you cannot use it?
Right, exactly. So
that is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just bonkers. Nobody should buy this.
In a VR presentation streamed from Germany.
I don't care how nice the car is. No one should buy this crap.
Yeah. But in a VR presentation streamed from Germany the other day, BMW ran through a series of digital updates to its cars, including more details on the new BMW Digital Key service announced with Apple at last week's WWDC, and confirming that current model cars will be fully software upgradable over the air, kind of like Tesla's.
Dumb.
The first such update will hit BMW operating system 7 cars in July, and packages are said to be approximately 1 gigabyte in size.
BMW
And we'll take
OS.
and
oh yes, my car has.
And we'll be rough,
BMW
and we'll take
OS.
roughly 20 minutes to install. So,
Okay.
Now the most notable part of the
What
presentation.
happens if it fails? Does your car get bricked? What happens if, like, I don't know, you start software updating your car and then a freak storm rolls in and you lose connection? And, does it just not work anymore? Do you have to take it in and pay, like, you know, a few $100 for them to flash your car's firmware?
It's interesting. So I think I read something about how Chromebooks update is they like download the update and then it's stored somewhere.
It probably is. Yeah, it's probably stored until it's completely downloaded. I was just making up some dumb stuff.
No, but that is funny.
Though, like, I feel like I just feel old. I legitimately feel old. Like, that I'm laughing at this. Like, people software update their cars and they have to pay for it.
Okay,
you know,
boomer.
Like, back in my day, I didn't have to pay for software updates to my car. That's what I feel like right now.
Okay, boomer.
It's so stupid. But yeah, that's seriously how I feel though. Yeah, I actually feel like a freaking boomer.
Yes, that's right. I just boomer Zach, but okay.
Oh my gosh. Shouldn't even be here. Shouldn't even be here doing this. Like joking about this because seriously, this is dumb.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so the most notable part of the presentation was the new plan to turn many options into software services. BMW mentioned everything from advanced safety systems like adaptive cruise and automatic high beams to other more discreet options like heated
safety
seats.
Features are subscriptions now? Okay.
Advanced ones.
All right. Okay. I mean, I thought that was a thing with car manufacturers, though, that, like, you know, all of the safety features are always standard.
Some of them are, but not in this case. And they're calling them safety features, but they're like extras, like adaptive cruise control.
I will admit that is a bit excessive to call that a necessary inclusion safety feature, but, like,
it's nice to have.
Why does it have to be a subscription? Like, are you seriously? Like, are you kidding me right now? I just can't understand who would even be happy about that as a car buyer.
Look, let's get through this real quick, and I want to play devil's advocate in a moment. But now these options will be enabled via the car, or the new My BMW app. While some will be permanent and assigned to the car, others will be temporary, with mentioned periods ranging from 3 months to 3 years. Some presumably will be permanent, but during the stream's Q&A portion, BMW representatives demurred on the details. So yes, you could theoretically only pay for heated seats in the colder months if you like, or perhaps save a few bucks by only enabling automatic high beams on those seasons where the days are going to be shorter.
Okay, so now picture this, right? Imagine in the future you'll be able to buy a car and then, like, jailbreak it to unlock all the subscription, like unlock your heated seat subscription for free. Oh yeah, great. That's what we're going to be doing in the future is, you know, we'll be buying cars and then jailbreaking them to unlock the, like, money gouging features that were already in the car and they're just disabled because you didn't pay them.
So this is interesting. So BMW actually, like, already, I guess, tried something like this in 2018. It's been demoned now. But they were charging a limited time access to Apple CarPlay. At the time, it was called next level gouging by the editor here.
It is gouging.
The reaction being so negative that BMW eventually scrapped the program.
Now they're like, we have to disguise it better next time.
Okay, here's the thing. I could see where there might be a potential for this if done right. I think that this theory of software as a service, or features as a service now, I guess. Yes, I agree with you, Zach. I think it's completely dumb.
But the biggest issue that I have with it is that these things are already baked into the car.
Right. Now,
Like,
here's the
they're
thing.
basically asking you to pay for something that is already there just to use it.
Right.
It's
Now,
already
here's
there.
the thing. Here's the thing.
Now, and here's another question. Are they offering the option to pay for that up front and just say, I want it forever?
Right. Now, here we go. Let me say this, right? What if, are you more in favor of this? What if all the options are there, right? But you have the option of buying the car with a specific set of features enabled when you purchase that car,
So what,
and you
you're
get to
saying
keep
that
those.
All cars have all of the things built in, and you just paid to use what you want?
Yeah, and that if you want a specific feature, you can pay the upgrade for that.
I mean, that's fine, except then the extra cost of that hardware is going to be baked into the initial cost of the vehicle, no?
Well, no, see, here's what I'm wondering is if you pick a car up off the lot, right? Okay? And it comes with, option A, B, and C, right? And they figure out a pricing for that, and you drive it off the lot. Then later down the line, you got some extra money, you want an added feature, you pay the extra money, you get option D.
I don't really like that because, I'll just buy a car with what I can afford now, come on. It just seems dumb to me.
I know, it's an idea.
It really just doesn't sit well with me. Also, the fact that the car company even has the capability to just disable parts of your car is just stupid. That should not be a thing. They should not be even able to do that.
I wonder how much money these companies spend, because I'm sure what they're doing is they're creating a network, their own network somehow, because these cars have to be connected.
They probably have a deal with cellular providers for that.
I wonder if you can just take somehow disable your car from communicating to the network,
Probably disables everything until it can phone home.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
That being said, I would definitely jailbreak my car in the future. I will definitely be one of those people.
And it'll be interesting to see if people actually do that. I mean, there are a lot of smart people. Somebody will figure out how to do it.
Someone will. Yeah, I'm sure we will all be browsing weird forums for jailbreak software for our cars, because we were too cheap to pay for the heated seat subscription. Oh my god, it just sounds so ridiculous to say it. A heated seat subscription. Okay, whatever.
So anyway, this new move now takes this approach and brings it basically to another level. Imagine pressing the seat heater button only to be prompted to renew your subscription, or having to pay extra to get an engine note on your new M4 that suits your sensibilities. All this is possible and likely, and I'm frankly ugly.
The other insulting thing about it is that a BMW is not a cheap car. That's a nice car, right? Costs a lot of money. Why are such things not just part of the car? I don't understand. You're already paying quite a bit for a nice car. Why is that not part of it?
So, here's the thing. So this vehicle as a platform approach is something that may indeed help save some consumers money, particularly in the less heavy luxury sedan space.
Probably help people who perhaps cannot afford, who could perhaps not normally afford such a nice vehicle. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're spending more money. That's how it works with subscriptions. You're always spending more money with subscriptions than you would be to buy the product up front.
Well, okay, so here's the other thing. This approach could actually open the door for letting consumers get exactly the specific things that they want in a vehicle, instead of building discrete options into packages in the name of streamlining manufacturers' processes. But I think if that's the route to go, then I think what you do is you configure your car online or something like that.
What about the fact
and
that
then it just comes that way?
If this was a thing, then every car would have to be made with all of those things, with all of that hardware, and that therefore would increase the price of manufacturing it, which probably would be eaten by you, the buyer.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Will be higher.
It raises the question then, if you're gonna just put all the if they're passing that on to the consumer and they're just gonna put everything in the vehicle anyways, why not just build a car with all the options in it and call it good?
Well, it's just money gouging.
Money
gouging.
Yeah.
It's obviously money gouging. I mean, I don't know, whatever. They're gonna do it anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm sure they're not stupid enough to truly think that this is the best, for people.
Look, the potential downsides are troubling, particularly when it comes to used car sales. BMW represents.
What about security? Like, if the car company can disable parts of your car, then somebody else, enterprising individual with the right skill set, could probably do the same thing.
That's true. Now, BMW representatives indicated that upgrading features will apply to the car, not the user, but indicated that all the details on used car sales are still being worked out.
That's a can of worms right there. Oh, you aren't, You aren't Bob, you're Mike. You don't get to use the heated seats. You don't have a subscription. Okay, whatever. That's going to be the future, too.
I mean, there are some benefits, like being able to have a better equipped car on the secondhand market.
Yeah, so you could just buy a used car and jailbreak it to get all the features.
I mean, here's the thing. It's hard not to see this as simply another shot at revenue from BMW. In a transaction that might otherwise not involve the company at all. And Tesla recently found itself in hot water for disabling autopilot on used cars.
That's dumb too.
Well, because they were linking it to
the vehicle.
They were linking it to the owners, I think.
That's dumb.
Yeah, so this is just the beginning, and how consumers react to this is going to be key. Look, here's the thing. Here's what's interesting, though, is apparently BMW has already tried something similar to this, and there was a giant outlash.
How dumb it was.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, this thing kind of feels inadvertible. Service-based pricing is taking over everything from what we're watching, or kind of what we're seeing now. Yeah, from what we're watching to dinner stuff.
I hate it.
Yeah.
If I want something, I want to exchange money and receive product forever. I guess services are different, but, physical things like cars,
tangible items,
hardware that are part of cars does not need to be a service.
Yeah, tangible items.
And I'm sure they would just I'm sure they would just salivate over the idea of just taking away the option completely of paying up front for it.
Look, there are some benefits to software as a service.
For you to only be able to subscribe to heated seats and entertainment systems in the car.
That's just so weird to say, though. Oh, yeah, I had to pay a subscription to use my heated seats.
Of course, it feels dirty, doesn't it? Well, it is dirty. It's dumb.
It is dumb.
Yeah, of course. That's why we're making fun of it. Right?
The thing is,
I'm sure that the people, like, I just imagine they must have thought, can we really get away with this? And they're like, yeah, we can. And they're gonna do it, and they're gonna be laughing about it in a few years' time, like, I can't believe we got away with that, man. Those dumb consumers bought it.
Hopefully not.
Well, hopefully not. You're right, but I mean, that's just how it goes. They will keep trying that stuff until they get away with it.
Look,
if they get pushed back this year, they will be like, oh, I guess we'll just try it in a couple years, and eventually people will get tired of caring.
Here's the thing.
Maybe younger people grow older and they don't care so much about this issue. I don't know, whatever.
Look, I don't think software as a service is necessarily the worst thing in the world. Yeah, it's a little annoying, and you're at the mercy of the company, but at the same time, there are some benefits, like something that is always up to date. That's kind of nice. then again, you can always, pay a subscription fee, I guess, for updates and things like that. But anyway, I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. Hopefully there's an outlash behind it.
Imagine that. A software that... So you buy a software and updates are not part of it? That's very dumb. I find that idea just to be kind of dumb, really.
I think the way a lot of places do it is you buy a piece of software, you get updates for a certain amount of time, and then after that amount of time, if you'd like to continue getting updates, you pay some money and you get a set of updates again. Here's an example. Okay, so our point of sale software that we use for TechB Media. So there is a core licensing fee for it. And so that is paid, and you get a year of updates included with that. Our subscription expired a few months ago. I had the option then. Actually, it was like 3-4 months ago anyway. But if I wanted to continue to get updates for the program, and here's the thing, is that our point of sale software is actually actively being developed. Like, new features are rolling out all the time, which is actually really nice. It's a really active project. I really like it. But in order to continue to keep getting those updates, I had to pay I had to pay for another year of service, basically. So, good software though, and I'm okay with that kind of model. But I don't have to pay on a monthly basis. And here's the other thing, is that let's say I decide to stop paying for updates, I still get to use the software as it is without any restrictions. It is mine to own.
Very novel concept.
Yeah, mine to own.
So very novel concept.
And it's open source too, so I even have access to all the source code.
If you were a developer and you were interested in that, sure.
Yeah. So, well, it's all web-based and everything, so it makes it pretty easy for us to go in and make some changes on our own if we want to. So, it's actively developed enough that I can just request new features, and if other people agree, then they get built in. So, anyway. So, Apple is warning customers not to close its laptops with a camera cover attached, Zach.
Does it like break the screen or something?
I don't know. So it might strike some people as obvious advice, but Apple has published a support page that warns Mac owners not to close their laptops with a camera cover in place. Damage like a cracked display could result, according to the company, because the clearance between the display and keyboard is designed to very tight tolerances. That is actually true.
Gotta be the thinnest laptop ever.
Mac Rumors spotted the advisory, which Apple posted on July 2nd. Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, that's why you just put the piece of duct tape or something over the camera. It's hilarious. It's funny the number of people that have brought, and I wonder if you saw it too when you were working at your last employer. But did you saw devices come in probably from just regular normies that would have something over the webcam.
So many people have tape on the cameras and stuff like that. It's always just a sticker or some tape. Or a Band-Aid.
I was just going to say the Band-Aid.
Band-Aids are surprisingly common.
The Band-Aid. Let me ask you, Zach. Okay, so actually, you probably don't use it very much anymore, do you? Your laptop.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Are you going to pick up another portable machine?
No, probably not.
No?
No, if I would, it would be well, I don't know what it would be, but it wouldn't it would probably be a low to mid-range computer just for, basic junk.
So you're not going Razer?
Oh, no way.
I considered... Look, Razer is like the Mac of PCs.
Yeah, and it's also just too expensive. Like, I would not want to pay
The
that
thing
much.
is, though, is that Razer has some nice features built into their machines.
I mean, there are some pretty cool, like, high-performance marketed laptops out there these days, you know, with high refresh rate screens and desktop-class GPUs, but, I mean, just money. No, I don't want to spend money like that on a laptop.
Look.
Sorry, I have a nice desktop.
I think I spent...
Especially with the quality of remote desktop software these days being what it is, which is pretty good.
I can't remember what I spent...
If I want, like, I can easily remote to my desktop computer and do anything that I could do on there remotely.
I can't remember what I spent on this. This is my portable machine. So this is my what is this thing? This is a Dell G7. Is that what this thing is? Yeah, the Dell G7. I also got a pretty good deal on this thing. I got this thing for like $300 some off. Because I'm pretty sure it was the display model that they were getting rid of. Is that a screw? I might actually have to look into that in a moment. Yeah. I mean, BIOS update fixed a lot of issues on this thing because it was kind of running like garbage for a while. But this has been a great little laptop. This has a 8th gen Core i7 in it. So I think it's like a 6-core, 12 thread, something like that, I think.
Did you have a subscription to unlock the last 2 cores?
No. Discrete graphics. I think it's got like a 1060 in it or something like that. Look, here's the thing though, is that I could have gone for a much cheaper system, right? Part of the reason I went for this was because of the added. That's a little concerning, though. There's definitely a screw in here that is coming out. I need to take a look at that. Anyway, oh, actually, you know what? Hang on. Because otherwise I'm going to forget about it later. So, live fixing my device on the show. Anyway, no. Actually, I'll ask you, Zach, what is the reasoning as to why I chose the specific computer I did? Or at least, what was I looking for in a computer when I bought a portable machine? You know this, because I've told you.
Editing and stuff?
Yes. I wanted a system that was going to be...
Without it.
Huh?
I wasn't going to live without it.
I wanted a system that was going to be capable of... Oh, yeah. Weird. Might have to tighten a couple screws in here. But I wanted a system that... What the heck? Maybe that's why. That's weird. But no, I wanted a system that I could do some light editing on. Look, this laptop is not designed to do heavy editing on. And that's not what I bought it for. I bought it for doing light editing on the go. It's a portable machine for that. But anyway, yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh, by the way, I love this thing. One screw and the whole bottom panel comes off. Huh?
That's pretty handy.
I know. Which makes getting to everything inside super easy. So, yeah. I reinstalled Windows on this the other day because I was running into this weird issue with, what was it? I don't remember. Okay. So apparently that's broken. What was it? It was like the, Visual Basic something was having an issue where like some file was like corrupt or missing or something like that. And so I kept getting this stupid pop-up message that was like, hey, we can't find this. You should, see if you can find it. And I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. It was stuck. I couldn't uninstall Visual Basic far enough to be able to to be able to get rid of the error. So I finally just said screw it and I'll just reinstall Windows. So and that ended up fixing the issue. But yeah. So yeah. But yeah, so Apple products are designed to be, closed very, very closely. Not like this laptop. Although, you know what? Oh, okay. I know where I was going with this. I remember why I brought this up. So my question for you was going to be, and I think I already know the answer, but even on, you're not one of those that is going to cover up the webcam with something, are you?
I just don't use it. Like I'm not convinced it's spying on me or anything like that. I'm just
right, exactly.
Not going to use it.
Oop, I don't know where that screw just went, but anyway, something apparently is somewhat-ish broken off in here, and so that is why that screw fell out. But that's okay. We will deal with that later. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this little screw. There we go. Cool. I'm like doing like repair on my computer while we're trying to do a show. Anyway, so no, I'm just not concerned with it. I don't have anything over the webcam on this machine here, or even my main webcam here. I just like I'm not that concerned about it. But yeah, it's funny though, is that if you're concerned with it and you're having this issue and you own a MacBook, the solution is to put the little piece of tape over it or something like that. So, but and some laptops I've saw now have a little like built-in slider that like goes over it.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot actually.
That is a new thing, so it's interesting. But yeah, those little plastic camera covers with the sliding mechanism are super common nowadays. Let's see. So they're making like external ones too. But those things could spell disaster for your laptop screen if you shut the laptop with this cover still on. And Apple laptop repairs are extremely costly. Holy mackerel, yes they are. Even just getting parts for them is expensive. Even Apple Care Plus accidental coverage, the deductible is not cheap. That is my favorite thing, is that Apple offers a repair option, right? Apple Care. But it's still like super expensive when you have a problem. It's not like you pay for the insurance and then you have a deductible on top of it.
Yeah, you pay so that you can pay more when you break something.
Yeah.
Fails. Aha, very good.
So instead of using a cover, this is awesome, Zach. Apple says that customers can trust the green LED beside the camera on the MacBook Pro and MacBook Air that illuminates whenever the camera is active.
I thought that the whole point was that people didn't trust the computer telling them when the camera was active.
Exactly. Yup. The camera is engineered so that it can't activate without the camera indicator light also turning on. Apple's support document Apple's support document says. That's all well and good, but sometimes it's not so much about privacy as it is just having a layer of separation between you and your coworkers on a video conference. Oh, okay. I guess that's fair. Apple does acknowledge that some people have no choice in the matter and might be required to use a camera cover by their employer. Okay. In those cases, the company says says the cover should always be removed before closing the laptop. Wow, what a noble solution, Apple.
Good idea.
What a noble solution. As Mac Rumors noted, there have been cases of a MacBook Pro screen breaking even with light pressure, even when light pressure is applied to a closed machine.
Dang, I breathed in its direction. It cracked.
With an attached camera cover. So it looks like it wasn't just like unprovoked. There was something on there. But anyway. Look, like, when was the last time you didn't see an iPhone with a cracked screen? I don't know. Like, it's something about, and maybe it's the fact that just a ton of people have Apple devices, and that's why. But I feel like Apple devices' screens have always cracked more easily than other devices. But again, maybe it's just because of the sheer volume of them that are out and about. So, although I can tell you, I do far more screen repairs on iPhones than I do on Samsungs. And like I said, again, it could be a market share thing. So anyway, yeah, that's a thing right there. Moving on to Microsoft news for this week. With Edge, Microsoft's forced Windows update just sank to a new low. Okay, so if I told you, Zach, that my entire computer screen just got taken over by a new app that I'd never installed or asked for, it just magically appeared on my desktop, my taskbar, and preempted my next website launch, you'd probably tell me to run a virus scanner and stay away from shady websites, wouldn't you?
Yeah, or I would honestly think about Windows Update. And wonder if that is the culprit. Because, I mean, that isn't exactly without precedent. Microsoft?
Yeah. So, the insanely intrusive app I'm talking about here isn't a piece of ransomware or anything like that. It's Microsoft's new Chromium Edge browser, which the company is now force-feeding users via an automatic update to Windows.
And let me guess, it sets your default browser back to Edge, and it, does all those other things that you said.
So, this is not me, this is the editor here, but they restarted their Windows 10 desktop, and the app that they never asked for, 1, immediately launched itself, 2, tried to convince them to migrate away from Chrome, giving them no discernible way to click away or say no, 3, pinned itself to the desktop taskbar, and 4, ignored previous browser preferences by asking the next time that they watched a website whether they were sure they wanted to use Chrome instead of Microsoft's oh so humble recommendation.
Okay.
I think that's the editor's words there. But anyway, yes. Did we also mention that as of this update, you can't uninstall Edge anymore either?
You could do that before?
Apparently.
I didn't even know you could do that, to be honest. I know you can uninstall IE. I didn't know you could uninstall Edge.
I didn't know you could uninstall Internet Explorer. I thought Internet Explorer is like a core feature of the computer that it needed to like work for like File Explorer.
Oh, really? That's funny.
That might have been true. That might have been true in older releases of Windows. Or older editions of Windows, excuse me.
That would be very funny if it was true.
Well, no, because remember, because I think, yeah, okay, look, here's the thing. Oh, this isn't going to work because I can't show it. But if you open up the file browser and you type a web address into
the web address, it will open a browser. Yeah.
Right, but it used to, I think, actually load it in the File Explorer or something like that. No, it opened Edge or something like that. Anyway, so That, I think, used to be tied into, or its functionality had to be linked with something with, like, Internet Explorer, and that's why you, like, couldn't erase it or, like, uninstall it or something like that. So,
Whatever.
I don't actually think you can install Internet Explorer.
I have no idea. Thought you could, but I guess maybe not.
No, you can't. You cannot uninstall Internet Explorer. I think there are still some core features of it that are still needed in here. Anyway, yeah. So, a little surprised that Microsoft would shoot itself in the foot by stooping so low. Oh, what are you talking about?
So low to them, this is like the new heights.
The editor says using tactics that they've only seen from purveyors of adware, spyware, and ransomware. So they said that they installed this copy of Windows from a disk that they purchased. Maybe they're old-fashioned, but they like to still think that they still own their desktop and get to decide what is put there. I would agree.
No, it's almost like it's your computer.
Oh, this is especially true of owners of Windows 7 and Windows 8, he imagines, who are also receiving unwanted gift copies of the new Edge browser right now.
Gift copy? Is that what you just said? Okay. Oh, nice gift.
They're not surprised that some angry Windows users are already railing against the fact that this came as part of a forced Windows update. Oh, are we now just discovering that Windows updates are forced?
What? It does that? Wow, that's insane.
Which he says Microsoft has already had a hard time justifying without invading people's desktops as well. Now it's going to be harder to buy that argument that forced updates are necessary for security when they're pulling double duty as an intrusive marketing tool. Yeah. So Microsoft isn't trying to hide most of this, by the way. It lays out all the so-called first run experience in the first update changelog. So the editor here figured that they'd see if the company might say more. Here's a list of questions that they sent to Microsoft, which the company declined to substantively answer. Okay. Anyways, what was the goal and reasoning here? Why does Microsoft feel that this is appropriate? What is a success, or what is a success, and if so, by what metric? What does Microsoft's telemetry show users are doing in response to being confronted with edge pins, desktop icons, auto launch, and reset default apps? Would Microsoft do this again? Will Microsoft stop this now and or change anything about this update? Why is Microsoft's philosophy on dark pattern software design? Okay. The only justifications the company could provide where technically the new Edge browser is replacing the old Edge that already comes with Windows 10. Okay, but here's the argument. If you don't have it installed...
But I don't care.
Yeah, if you don't have it installed, then why reinstall it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't care.
Microsoft wants you to use
the Edge, I'll go download it.
Oh, wow. Microsoft wants you to use the best, most secure version of its browser, and you can still say no, though in this case, a no involves force closing Edge. Force closing Edge. Wow.
You have to go to Task Manager to close it, like it's some kind of tech support scam that took over your browser and you can't close it.
Apparently, maybe. I don't know.
You ever see those? I'm sure you know what I'm
talking about. I know what you're talking about. Reaffirming your desktop browser choice and having to spend a minute deleting unwanted junk on your desktop. Oh, here's the other question that the editor asks. Microsoft. And I'll ask this to you too, Zach. Okay? Microsoft. do you think this behavior makes Windows users actually want to use Edge?
No.
No!
Honestly, they're probably going to walk away very pleased with this regardless, because, I mean, think about the amount of people who use Edge because they didn't even know there was something different.
Well, that could be true.
They didn't even know that they could change it.
Yeah. You know, here's an interesting thing. Well, hang on. Okay. So, now, if the editor is being honest, after the initial shock wore off, they found Edge easy enough to ignore. The experience mostly just left a bad taste in their mouth. But before they had actually been interested in the new Chromium-based version of Edge, they've been planning to check it out and have been toying with Firefox and Opera for weeks, considering a potential migration away from Chrome. Now, this person says, as a user, not a journalist, I can't help but feel like they should ignore Edge on principle. And if there's a sizable fraction of users who feel the same, somebody inside Microsoft is facepalming hard right about now. Doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Here's the thing, is I wonder, yeah, I'm sure there's a majority of the population who just buys computers, sets it up out of the box, turns it on, yada, yada, yada. I'd like to believe that there are a decent number of people who are less tech savvy, less computer savvy than us, average consumers, right, that are still using another browser besides Edge.
Or perhaps somebody helped them change it, and now they got pushed back and they don't know how to do it.
Right. And here's the thing that I was thinking. I was thinking that scenario, like my mom here, is that when I gave her my old laptop, what is she using? She's using Firefox. But that was the first thing I did. I was like, no Internet Explorer, no Edge, Firefox. That's what you're going with. That's what you're using. That's what she uses. Except for on the iPad where she's using, what is it? Safari. But easy enough. It's built in, whatever. So I'm working on maybe getting an upgraded system. And if I do that, then I'm probably going to put Chrome on it, set up a Gmail account or a Google account, and then probably put Chrome on the iPad, and then those two things can sync back and forth. So anyway, Edge. No, thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What else real quick here? I want to check out this Wells Fargo thing. Wells Fargo directs employees to remove TikTok from company mobile devices. My question here is why was it installed on company devices in the first place?
I don't know.
But yeah, Wells Fargo has instructed employees who installed TikTok on company devices to remove the app over privacy concerns, as first reported by The Information. I'm a little surprised that they were actually able to install it on like company devices. That seems like a hole in your security there. Just saying. Let's see. They said they've identified a small number of Wells Fargo employees with corporate-owned devices who had installed the TikTok application on their devices, a Wells Fargo spokesperson said in an email to The Verge. Due to concerns about TikTok's privacy and security controls and practices, and because corporate-owned devices should be used for company business only, we have directed those employees to remove the app from their devices. Again, shouldn't have been able to install it in the first place. Agree or disagree?
Oh, you don't like Chinese spyware on your devices?
No, I'm just saying on company-owned devices, you shouldn't be able to just install stuff on it. That seems like a giant security risk. No, let me ask you. In your entity that you work in right now, can end users just install any software they want?
Some of them can, some of them can't. I don't know the nitty-gritty.
If you're in a position where you've got elevated permissions and you know what you're doing, then I say it's fine. But generally, should not be acceptable. Look, here's the thing. The entity that, my entity that I currently work in, all of our systems, our company-owned systems, are imaged with a custom image from our support team. That includes some special software and other things like that. But there are multiple accounts built into it, and the accounts that we use do not give us the ability to. We don't have elevated permissions. We have to call our support desk to be able to do that kind of stuff. The other entity that I manage IT for, all of our users, actually most of our users, I should say, there's one user that is still on a separate device that is not on our domain yet, and it's just because we were planning to put that person on the domain, and then the whole COVID-19 thing happened. That's also a portable machine that travels with this particular individual all the time, so we're still trying to figure out how we're going to manage like document storage and things like that. So there's a couple things that we're still kind of exploring with that. But all of our other users, all of our other systems are on the domain, and nobody except for administrators has elevated permissions to be able to install anything on those systems. So yes, I get a phone call every time QuickBooks needs to be updated, but relatively minor, all things considered. So I just get an email from the office secretary that's like a picture of it, and I'm like, okay, time to do the update, I guess. So yeah, so I guess that's my that is my view on that. So anyway, and the last thing here, Samsung reportedly won't include chargers with some phones starting next year, Zach.
Nice.
Samsung may not include chargers in the boxes of some of its smartphones starting in 2021.
$1,000 plus phones, by the way. No need a charger.
Right. And they're going with the same reasoning that Apple is the company's taking them out because many people already have chargers, and to help reduce.
It's not about the money; it's about the planet.
But this also, well, this says, and to also help reduce cost. We'll see if that's actually true. While not including a charger in the box might seem like a big move, Samsung reportedly isn't the only major phone considering it, or phone maker considering it. Yeah, we talked about Apple. So this says removing chargers from the box could be a major way for Samsung and Apple to lower the cost of selling their phones and make their phone packaging smaller, but it could also have a significant impact on the environment. Taking them out of some of the top-selling smartphones could help reduce the number of chargers that go unused and are thrown away because many people already have a bunch scattered around their house. So yeah, I don't know, I guess, maybe. But yeah. Okay, that's all I got. I don't have anything else. So, anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. Well, that does it for us this week. You like the show? Thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Get subscribed to the channel if you haven't done that already. Yeah, we'll hopefully see you next week here on the show. Bye.